What's up, y'all? Adam Stark here, host of Veterans Who Build Show and The Modern Builder. Today we're chatting insider insights, real estate developer secrets. What does it mean to be a successful real estate developer? What's that look like? What's a secret tip toward that success? First and foremost, we're going to do a shout out to our sponsors.
Thank you to our channel sponsors, Jet.Build. If you're looking for ways to better manage your real estate development and construction projects, look no further. Jet is the command center software for end-to-end real estate development and construction management. That's www.jet.build.
Okay. For contextual sake, let's say we're doing a $100 million high-rise mixed-use property that's going to be mostly residential. However, the ground floor, maybe the first two floors, call it, it's going to be some commercial space, right? Throw in a, I don't know, coffee shop, throw in a dry cleaner, throw in a bodega, little supermarket thing, right? Throw in, I don't know, salon, haircut place, you name it, right? So first two floors commercial, above that's all residential. Below ground, we're going to have garage, right? And some parking outside. And there you have it. There's our project that we're looking at. Yeah. So in order to get that project going, what do you need? You need a team, right? Now, what does that team look like? You're going to need capital. You're going to need financing, right? So you have lenders, you got banks, you got GPs and LPs, right? A mix of all of those, a combination of all of those. So that we're already talking on the financial side of things. That's a handful of companies, right? Now you got you, the developer. Now what else you need? You need a design team, right? So you need your architects and engineers. You need them to first produce a set of drawings, something that could be used to go ahead and start bidding on this project, right? So conceptual drawings, first set of DD plans, right? You're going to take that. Now you're going to put it into the market in regard to contracting teams, right? You're going to understand what it costs to build that project based on that first set of drawings that you created. So we just mentioned a whole new variety of stakeholders, of teams involved in this project now, right? So we mentioned the design teams like architect, engineers, right? So those are a few buckets of companies, at least two, right? Then we mentioned your contracting team. So you're probably going to hire for such a project a GC, general contractor, who's going to go ahead and either leverage some of their internal trades if they have, if they're vertically integrated, if they're self-performing on some things, and or they're going to go ahead to the market and pull in another dozen trades, contracting trades, right, to build your project. So that's kind of the general, right, minimum, I'll say, general minimum buckets of teams. So you have your lender or your GPs or your bank or all of those. Then you have your design team, like your architects and engineers. Then you have your contracting teams, right? And then it's also you as the developer in between all that, right? Facilitating all that, right? Now let's jump into what does it take to be successful in that role, in that point person between all of those teams that we just mentioned. So it's going to be a 3-word insider secret. Ask many questions. That's it. If you want to be a successful developer, regardless of how experienced you are, how knowledgeable you are, right? How much ego you have, how little ego you have, doesn't matter. The secret to success as a developer, right? That's to ask questions. So what do I mean by that? If you think about it, You're hiring all of these different stakeholders, all of these different teams who are all specializing in those verticals that you hired them for. So you have your money side, right? Your capital side. All of those parties are specialized in that specific vertical. You have your design team, your architects and engineers. They are specialized in those verticals. Your contractors, your superstructure, your concrete and steel, your plumber, your electrician, your millwork, right? They're all specialized in their verticals and their trades. So where does that put you as a developer? Regardless of if you think you know everything about all of those different verticals, right? Even if you somehow do know everything, ask questions. Why? Because you're not the one doing everything physically, right? You're not the one installing, right, the electrical panels and then drawing the architectural plans and then lending yourself capital, right? Instead, you're sitting as that point person to facilitate all happenings on the project, to facilitate information and to facilitate decisions, right? So what does asking questions do for you? So let's say you're sitting on your weekly meeting, your bi-weekly, your monthly, whatever frequency it's there. I would recommend weekly, get involved weekly on your project, especially at this magnitude, right? In this example of a magnitude of a project, right? You got your GC at the table. Maybe you have one or two trades at the table that, you know, have a significant contract. So just call it concrete, call it electrician, plumber, right? They're at the table. You have your design team, your architects and engineers at the table. Now go around to all of them and ask them, all right, what's happening on the project? What's working well? What's not working well? Right? What should I know? Right? Then go to each of them individually, right? Have your own conversation individually, or have someone on your team help you do this. Gather as much information as possible. Why did you install this specification, this model? Why did you install it when you did install it, right? How are we tracking in the coming weeks, in the coming month? Are you on time, right? How's your workforce performing? How's your supply chain? Do you have materials on hand? Will you have materials on hand in time? Now to the architect, ask the architect, are specifications available? Things that you spec, are they available? Have you reviewed your drawings since construction has started, right? Have things changed? What has changed? Why has it changed, right? Are these specifications, or these drawings, or these finishes going to allow us to be code compliant for energy efficiency, right? These are all questions that you could ask up front before the project starts. They're questions you could ask every single week of the project as the project progresses. Regardless of when, they're all questions you should ask and questions you should continue to ask. And following along the saying of, there's no dumb question. There really is no dumb question, right? Even if it is a dumb question, which it isn't, then at a minimum, you're having your team respond and you can watch how they respond, right? So if you think it's some simple question that everyone should know, great. So let's see how everybody knows that question, the answer to that question. Let's see how they respond to it, right? So it's up to you as a developer to compile all of this information, to pool it together, right? To pool all the information from your stakeholders, from the teams that you've created, that you've built, and make a decision, right? Make the best decision possible for your project. You as a developer are the only one who has that access, right? Who has that ability to centralize all of that information from the stakeholders that you are hiring, right? You are effectively hiring everyone, even if it's not directly, right? It's your project, it's your budget, it's you paying out your stakeholders, right? Your design teams, your trades, your GC, your whoever. So you are responsible for the flow of funds to those teams. Therefore, you are also responsible for their performance, right? You could shed responsibility off to your GC, for example, or your design team, for example. End of the day, it's your asset. End of the day, that's your project and that's your credit on the line, and that's your asset you're going to need to manage downstream, right? The life cycle of that property, right? You'll need to be able to address things that come up inevitably in a year, in 2 years, 3 years, whatever, right? So back to the insider tip, back to the purpose of the developer, right? So step one, purpose one, compile the right team, compile the best team that you can. What does that mean? That means partner with capital that supports your vision, that you have a good relationship with. Partner with design teams that you believe in, have a good track record, maybe you've worked with before. Partner with contractors, trades, right, that have good records, that you vetted, that you had referrals from, that you worked with before, right? So that's your team. You're pulling together all the necessary parties in order to build this asset, in order to build this development, this property, right? So that's step one, is pooling those teams together. Step two, in somewhat similar fashion, that's pooling the information together. It's asking questions so that you can have all of the information you need and more, right? The more information, the better, right? You're not going to miss out on anything for having too much information, right? You ask questions from your team that you put together, as many questions as possible, and you're going to pool that information. And now step three is taking that information, making a decision with it, right? Making the best decision possible that you can for your project, leading your team, giving objectives, right? Allowing for your project to succeed, to progress. And that's it, everyone. That's easy as that. Ask questions, right? As many as you can, that will allow you to make the best decision possible and therefore allow you to be a successful developer. All right, everyone. Adam Stark here with the Modern Builder. That's Insider Insights for real estate developer secrets. Not much of a secret, just ask questions. I'm going to do a shout out to Veterans Who Build show. Stay tuned. Real soon, we're going to release some awesome content. I'm really excited to share with you. Last but not least, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the videos. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you want to hear about. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you know a veteran in the built environment that should get on the show. The more the merrier. All right, y'all. See you soon.